Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Monster and Taz podcast. I am your host for today, Bronx Baby, and let me introduce you to the panel. First and foremost, we have Shawnee Girl. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Monster, as always,
Monster Mash in the house.
and Mr. Taz.
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, Chill?
All right, all right. We got Cap.
And last but not least, what up, Bloody?
What's happening?
How everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. We good.
Wonderful. Good.
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 Let's
Well,
get it crack.
today for my podcast, I would like to broach on something that I've experienced being a New Yorker, born and raised 34 years in the city, in the Bronx, and living the last almost 15 outside of the city in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and now Georgia. I have experienced a lot of, I want to say, first of all, uh, pessimistic, antagonistic attitudes. One, when they hear I'm from New York. Two, when they hear my accent, they already prejudge me. They already have this notion of who they think I am or who they think I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to act like. And it's annoying. I've noticed differences in the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we live. Everything is just completely different. And I'm wondering if I'm the only one. So today I want to do North versus South. And I open the floor to you guys. Let's start with Tez. Have
Okay.
you ever experienced it? Have you ever noticed? Have you ever dated a northerner?
Well, that's where I'm from. I'm on the north part, but I'm in Ohio, so I'm kind of close to where you came from. So, but it don't matter. How close we are. The further you separate from different states and stuff like that, you start developing. What we would consider an accent. The way I talk might be different from you. The way you talk may be different from me. Same with the Southerners. I got cousins and stuff like that that's from the South, and to me, don't get insulted, Southerners, but it sounds like broke your jaw's broken. My cousin, I my cousin, he said, yeah, I know him as Ray Sean, and he said, yeah, this your cousin Rashad, and I'm like, fix your jaw, man. But I mean, it is what it is. Maybe the Southerners, think that it's strange the way I speak, but that's pretty much it is. And I also notice a cultural difference in the food. Like in some places, they ain't never even heard of a Polish boy or a Polish girl. That's common around here with us. But you say that to certain people from either the north regions but far away from us, or the southern region, they, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, what
yeah,
the fuck is that?
oh, you see, he don't know. He from Atlanta. He don't know. Polish boy is a delicacy up here where we had a coleslaw on like we call them Polish boy, but they like Polish sausage, and it's on a bun, and it's got coleslaw on it and fries and barbecue sauce. You know, so
Did you and fries?
yeah, we put fries on the dog.
So that's shit. So you talking about some shit you get at a carnival?
No, 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 no. We got places around where they sell chicken ribs and Polish boys together. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's on the menu up here.
Okay, I
So
got you.
yeah. So like I said, it's a real cultural differences, uh, area differences. It goes like kind of like hand in hand in my opinion. And then I'm gonna pass it. Go ahead.
Facts. Chill. You got anything to add?
Y'all. I like I'm kind of in between north and south because I don't care where you're from. Accent don't matter to me. As long as you booty around, you good to go. No matter
Oh,
where.
Lord.
So we good to go with the but the accent. But some people like when you talk about South, uh, like Taz was just saying, like for example, do y'all eat grits? Who eats grits up in here?
I used to.
I do.
Cause that's a Southern food. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some grits with some bacon and sausage up in it.
From what I heard, it's
I
different
can't
kind of grits
stand
too.
grits.
From what I heard, it's
That's
different kind
true.
of grits too.
Because up here in the north, we pretty much have traditional and rich or white grits. Yellow
Who?
grits is what they love in the south.
No,
Say that again,
What?
Monster.
I know in New York we didn't have grits. We had cream of wheat and we had farina.
See, I like cream of wheat
The
too.
fuck is
See,
that? That sound like some damn dog food.
cream of wheat.
No, he said so. He thinking about Purina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard in the South that you guys have something called hominy grits.
Ugh.
They
That
have
might be
yellow
some
grits.
that shit from the country, down south in Georgia. But I eat regular grits. They be
Like
white.
Jim Daddy grits.
In 5 minutes. You Gucci.
Then some people eat them with sugar, or they eat them with a whole bunch of butter, turn that shit brown.
Uh,
I like
I mean,
salt, pepper.
yeah, you got some people eating with sugar and butter and you know salt, pepper.
Right,
Eggs, put
right,
scrambled eggs in 'em and shit.
right.
Yeah, like some people mention certain things that sound different. Like I know I met a chick one time from Cali. She said, "Okay, why do you call it a buggy?" You know what I'm saying? I should go to her, hey, get that buggy real quick. I said, "What's a
A cart.
yeah?" So she
A
said,
buggy.
"It's a shopping cart." I said, "Well, where we from, they call them buggies too."
That's one I haven't heard. I haven't heard that one.
I haven't
Yeah,
heard
grab,
that one either.
yeah,
You
grab
had
them
it,
buggies.
buggy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I call it. Look, long as you go get it, I don't give a fuck. It's a
No,
Cart,
buggy,
buggy.
shopping cart. Long as the shit gonna get the food in it, let's go get it.
yeah,
Another
Or
culture, another
what?
cultural difference is one more that I'm saying this because it's in my mind. Soda and pop. Now up north we
mhm.
say pop.
Yep.
But some motherfuckers be like, "Yo, man, go give me a soda," and I'm like, "What?" So that's one cultural difference too.
I mean, but
And
sit
like,
down here. But sit down here, we'll call it a soda. Because when you say, "Hey, man, I want a drink," what you mean you want a drink? You want some Hennessy and Coke? You know what I'm saying? When you say a drink, so yeah, we call it soda.
okay, Shawnee girl, you've been quiet. What have you noticed? What aspect are you looking at it from?
I've really only been out of the state, but so many times, so I really don't have much to say. But I did go through Atlanta, and I've been to Florida several times. I think they think we're a little bit more fast paced up north.
Mm-hmm.
But
What?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Say that? See, so,
Whenever I visited people down there, they feel like we a little bit more fast paced because it's a lot of stuff they don't even get to like late. Like it be music and stuff that be done came out
Mm-hmm.
way like months up here, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't even get it to like late.
Mm-hmm.
that's because that shit don't be popping off down here like that. Ain't into that shit. I know. I mean, no. I mean, seriously. I mean, real talk. We just don't be into some of the music that y'all roll to. You know what
And
I'm saying?
vice versa. Because in the South, I've noticed y'all listen to more like Southern artists and stuff like that. And being a Northerner, I'm more of a Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, kind of girl. And y'all more listening to T.I. and MOE and Schmurda and all these other. And I'm looking at y'all like, who are they?
That crunk music. That shit started in the South, didn't it? That crunk shit.
Yes,
Started in
sir.
the south.
But it I ain't gonna lie, being a northerner, I actually enjoy that type of music because, even though it's lyrically not creative, but it's kind of like a feel music. It's like it's designed to make you feel a certain way. You know, whether you spin that certain
Yeah,
way in a violent way, that's on you. I'm sorry.
it's gonna make you get up and move.
That's what I'm saying. It's it's a feel music. Crunk music has been that way to me, but some niggas take it as, you know, when that shit come on, I want to fight. You know, I'm all in the club, nigga. You know, I'm elbowing niggas and shit. It's just all about the way you interpret it, you know, with that music.
But see, when you talking about motherfuckers doing that, see, that's the liquor and the weed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, real talk. They be liquor and the weed got them feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
It don't just be the music. They be having some help.
Up
Influence.
north, we don't play that. Elbow me,
Some influence.
step on my sneakers, do some crazy shit. It's popped off in the middle of the club on the dance floor. We Northerners, we're very different. We're very reactive. One, another thing I want to bring up too that I was just thinking about is Northerners versus Southerners in the way of just everyday life. Like Southerners have a very I've had Southerners who are very, I've met them who are very close minded. Up north, we grew up around very many different cultures, all different kind of races, all different kinds of nationalities. You know, you can go on like literally across the street in Brooklyn. If you're on the right side of the street, you're in a black neighborhood. If you're on the fucking left side of the street, you're in a Jew neighborhood or a Spanish neighborhood or a Dominican neighborhood. Where down here, everybody's white or black and they're not very accepting of mixed couples, or they're here but they're not accepted. They looked at funny, or if they're from a different race or they have an accent and stuff, people look at them funny. It's very hard, I see, as somebody from a different culture to survive in the South.
I mean, but you got to understand, though, we are in the South. You know, up north, yeah, y'all were exposed to all them different cultures. Down here, shit, white power. Don't act. They hung niggas back in the day. Even though it's 22, finna be 23, shit. If they had their way, it would still be the same thing.
That is true. I was gonna bring that up. You know.
I mean, real talk. So yeah,
Yeah.
we don't. I'm not finna go hang out with Jose them, and Jose them ain't finna hang out with me unless they grew up in my neighborhood.
Monster, you
You
got
know,
any
once
input?
once I move in down here, it's like this. Like when I was growing up in Decatur, on my street, when we moved on my street, we was the only fucking black family on that street. By the time I graduated high school, all the white folk were gone. It was number black families. You know what I'm saying? And this was back in the fucking 80s. Now you look at 22, it's still the same. Except now the white people trying to come in and buy up these houses, build them up, and, you know,
Trying to make some money.
make them a killing, making a killing off of them in the black community.
And trying to push y'all out.
I
No,
mean, yeah,
they want them in. They want
because
them in.
see,
For them buy the houses.
I mean,
Can
if
I
you
chime
got a
in?
house out there,
Absolutely.
you try to hold on to your shit, but it's a little hard.
Go ahead, Monster.
All right, one thing I wanted to say, like speaking on the houses, gang. All right, just like you said, when you moved in, it was pretty much all whites, and y'all was the only black on the whole block. And then by
Oh,
the time you
block.
graduated, everybody moved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now in the north, it's acceptable in a white community if you have a black family, maybe two. But when you get three and four, they start moving. They'll accept one, maybe two.
Mhm.
especially if you start to talk like them. But
Mm.
when it's 3 and 4, go look up. All them other white families go move.
I mean, you know what? Catering to that, I'm not going to go into specifics, but where I live at, it was predominantly when we first got here about 3 or 4 years, I think about 4 years ago, it was predominantly white. And my mother, she would joke about, she say, uh, you know, yo, kin folks, they starting to move in over here. She be joking about it, but then it really be, some black people, coming, and it was always predominantly white when we came over here. And then next thing you go on with your life. You go to work, you do whatever. And I would, do my little thing and just leave and come back and leave and come back. And during that time of leaving and coming back, I would notice a lot of white families was leaving this area. That's no joke. When we started coming in here, now when I say we, I mean we as a people. When I started noticing more black people start moving in this area, this specific area, they were taking the fuck off. Real
Yeah,
talk.
we don't help the cause though sometimes, because some of us moving in to the houses be living in the PJs, right? So you act in the PJs, you act a fool over the PJs. You can't do that moving to your house. You move to your house, you got to act like you got some sense.
Absolutely.
So some people move from the PJs to a house, act like they act a fool on the street, and mess it up for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very
I
true.
feel like that's what's going on with Cleveland Heights and South Euclid.
Mm-hmm.
Like dumb areas done changed in the past like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say
Cause
more
more
Euclid than
kinfolk.
South Euclid.
Yeah.
So all you guys from up north, right? I'm the only one from down south, right?
I'm
Mm-hmm.
in
My,
between.
my
I'm in
parents
VA.
from the South, though.
But
I know
I'm
what it's
saying
like to go down
nobody
there.
has actually grew up like me. I grew up in the deck in Decatur, Georgia. I grew up there. I went to elementary, high school, all that shit in the deck, all the way up until I went to the army. You know what I'm saying? So that's home,
Well,
Georgia.
I dealt with the same stuff as we was talking about before this show started. Really, some similar stuff. How you saw it on TV, where the Charlottesville stuff went down. That went down in Virginia. Like
Mm.
that where they had the big issue where where they did that march and stuff talking about we Jews will not replace us.
Mm-hmm. I know something
Hmm.
about.
Y'all don't remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that went down right
Hmm.
here in Virginia where they had got rid of the Confederate statues.
Catering to
Yeah.
what Bronx Baby said, and between her, what she said, and how Bloody, grew up in the A or whatnot, or the South. We'll just put it in the South versus the North. You know, she is right. Even if you in New York City or if you in Ohio, wherever you at, you look, you turn around, you go past certain sections. In New York, it's closer. I ain't gonna lie because I've been in New York and I've seen diversity everywhere. Cause like in New York, they got restaurants next to each other. You'll have a Chinese restaurant next door. You're having a pizzeria. They real diverse, but it's some diversity up here too. Like we have something called Little Italy, but we have diversity down south. I will agree. It's just like basically white and black, and then you had everything bad that happened bad in the south. You guys still see that shit to this day, so I know how you feel.
Exactly. And it makes it hard for someone like me. I'm a mixed culture. My father's from Panama, my mother's from Trinidad. I grew up in the Bronx, in a white, honestly, was dominantly white area of the Bronx. So I was exposed to house music and, Italian culture. You know what I'm saying? My next door neighbors for 20 some odd years of my life were Italians. You know what I'm saying? So they were my friends. And it never really clicked to me that I was going to go to other parts of the, of the country, right in the United States, and people were gonna look at me funny because I'm a Latino, you know what I'm saying, West Indian who listens to country music and pop and watches white TV shows. And why should I get the side eye?
I got a
Because
question.
I don't.
I got a question for you, Bronze Baby.
Or the first
And
question they ask me when I come from the Bronx is, "Oh, do I need to search you and see if you got a knife on you?" What?
I,
What?
I got a question for who in the room who has a little mixture of things, because it's hard to say, okay, this person is just black, this person is just white, blah, blah, blah. So I have a question for the who may be mixed in the room, and that question is, no matter what you mix with, has other races looked at you and classified you as, oh, you black, you a nigga, you this, you that, no matter what you got going on in your ethnic pool, do they stereotype you? Has that ever happened to you? And how do you feel about it?
Is it,
For,
is that
for me, daily.
Whoever has a mixture. Now we know Bronze Baby, but I'm not too sure about Shawnee Girl, and
I get stereotyped. Period. I feel like I come from a family of artists. Our family is Native American and black, and we do have white in us. But I think that we're just very like diverse people. Um, and no matter where I go, I don't fit in nowhere.
mm,
And the type of jobs that I work around nothing but diversity. All my jobs that I do for a living, which I actually like because I'm in love with all races. I'm not a racist. I don't look down on any race because I feel like we all come from the same place at the end of the day. But I'm always getting issues with people who aren't diverse, people who aren't optimistic, people who aren't diverse, people who stereotype people because you're not going to put me in a box. I will not go in your box. So you don't have to like me, but I'm not going to go
Mm.
in your box. I don't care about fitting in. So whatever you feel I need to fit in. And that's just me.
how do you feel about that, Bronze Baby? Like you had a mixture. Has anybody outside of your race or within your race classified you as just one race, and they don't know nothing about you? How did that make you feel? You know what I mean?
The first and foremost, most people when they look at me, it's a question mark, and that in itself, for me, every day is a problem because they look at me and they're trying to figure out exactly what I am. Am I black mixed with white? Am I Latino? Am I black? Am They don't know. So because they don't know, I've had it from all sides. I've had Spanish people stand in front of me and talk about me in Spanish, and I'm standing there looking at them, and they're still talking until I answer them back in Spanish, and then they're looking at me like, "Oh shit,"
Didn't know
because
you spoke Spanish,
they look
huh?
at me because the Spanish people look at me and they see nigga. The black
That's
people look
exactly why I
at
brought
me
it
and
up.
see the black people look at me and they see Puerto Rican and think I'm some kind of. I had one person I was engaged to, and part of the reason why we're not together and why I would never marry him was because I felt like I was some kind of fucking performance circus monkey when I was around his ass. Because every time we're around somebody, the first thing he wants me to do is, "Oh, she speaks Spanish. Speak Spanish, babe." What?
Damn.
mm,
Damn.
So that
well,
offends you,
So many other things.
but that does that offend you? Because
Why
from
can't
the other side of the coin, I'm gonna let you know, because my son, okay, my second son, he is Puerto Rican, okay, um, and I was taught Spanish by his mother because her mother used to call me words in Spanish that, now that I know it's in English, I'm really not fond of that lady. Okay, she used to call me mono. You know what that means if you know Spanish, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't know any of those
All
things.
Spanish people are racist.
Yeah,
Not even.
I know that because to be honest with you, when you have a culture, or you know what I'm saying, when you have a race, a culture, they pretty much want to stick to that culture. It's a lot of white people that don't believe in that mixing of race. It's a lot of black people that's especially from the South that don't believe in mixing races. Monster, he can concur with that with his parents, you know. But whoever belief is whoever belief. But she taught me that stuff. You know, she taught me Spanish because she didn't want her mother talking about me like that, and I didn't know what she was saying. Plus, I had to communicate with my son because that's what she was teaching him. You know, so on the other side of that coin, bronze baby, when you know, I can't speak for your ex fiance. I can't speak for him. But when a lot of people ask you about that, they're interested in your culture. You know, especially when they're from another culture. When they ask you to speak that, you know, especially me, if I ask you to speak it, is just showing just a little interest in you, in your background. I don't know his situation, you know. I know how he made you feel. I'm
If
sorry. I
I
mean,
thought that was it, maybe I'm if there was follow up of some other questions, maybe culturally about my heritage or about what my parents came from, what beliefs we had, what kind of dress we had. You understand what I'm saying? Something to those effects. Then maybe I would have felt that way. But honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. For most men, especially black men, it's a fucking fetish.
oh, okay. Okay.
They want you to fuck them and speak Spanish in their ear while you're doing it.
Wow.
It's a fact.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I ain't never heard of that. I I never looked at it that way. You know what I mean? I never looked at it that way. But this is your
That's fun.
perspective though.
You giving ideas.
My life. It's not my perspective. This is what I did.
Oh baby,
Hey,
tócate culo. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
listen in
Ay
Spanish like
Dios
that.
mío.
Hey, yo, to me, he'll
See,
pop.
that's fucked up if you don't know what the fuck she's saying
Like,
because she
come
be
on.
saying, nigga, this shit is not worth it.
But I never looked at it that way. And like I say, it's a lot of people that's really strong about their own culture and they don't believe in the mixture of other cultures. Like, can
I,
you
I
know?
definitely,
Is there any race like the people that? Because I know me and Chill, you know, is the only ones. Nah, I might be wrong because you know it's new people. We have confessed to going outside our race. Anybody else in the room that has been outside their race that feels like that's okay?
I have, but I haven't procreated with outside my race.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm dating outside my race.
Right. You know that's obvious. You know, Shawnee
And I'm
Can I
girl.
comment
vice.
on something right quick?
I don't have
Yeah.
a problem with any race. I just have a preference. And I
Oh,
love me some chocolate men. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I like strong brothers,
you like Hershey
but I
Kisses?
don't discriminate because I like all races.
It-
so
But
are you saying
that's
you
what I
want
like.
dark chocolate or creamy caramel chocolate?
You can give me
A
milk
Hershey Kiss.
chocolate, caramel, dark chocolate. You can give me any flavor of chocolate. I
Oh,
like chocolate, but
Hershey
I do
Kiss.
prefer
It,
dark chocolate if I can get it. You know.
Hershey Kiss. Go ahead, Monster. You was about to chime in, brother.
Like y'all was saying, with having to deal with people from who are a mixture.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. I just found out about 3 years ago on my mother's side that my grandmother was 50% Native American. She's still alive to this day.
Mm.
Because I couldn't understand how I have uncles. I have two uncles that are my mother's brothers. They're both tall, and then my mom is so short. Like my mom is like 5 feet. Both my uncles 6 feet plus. I'm like, something ain't matching.
Mhm.
And then I saw my mom's birth certificate, and And my grandmother's maiden name was Turnbow.
Mm.
And that's when she told me. She's like, you ain't know your grandmother half Native American. So my grandmother half Native American. That made me like what a eighth Native American because I look
Yeah.
like people from her family.
Mm.
I don't look like my dad's side. I look like my mom's side. From my color, the only thing I really got from my dad's side was my eyes. And somebody said, "Oh, you can't be part Native American." I was like, "How you gonna tell me?" I got one grandmother that's still alive,
Mm-hmm.
seen it with my own eyes, and they said, "Well, oh, you can file for different social status on this and that." And I said, "Look, I've been black my whole life. I'm gonna be black. I'm not one of them ones that can actually say, oh, I'm 50% this and that." See, like Addie, she knows her mom's from here, her dad's from there. She's like a mixture of both. I can't say that. I'm like a fragment. But actually, when I told somebody that, they did not believe it because they said when I had my hair, I had long hair. And like you know, Taz,
Yeah.
I've had long hair my whole life. And they said, why your hair used to look like that? I see where it come from now.
Mm-hmm.
Because my daughter got that same hair.
Hmm.
It really doesn't matter. Excuse me, whether you're 50% like me or whether you're an eighth like you, it is important for all of us to know where we came from. My great grandfather was born and raised in Trinidad, but because of the slave trade and everything else that was going on back then in the 1900s, 1920s, you know what I'm saying, when he was born and raised out there, his last name was Doyle, which is Irish. And part of him was Irish because of the slave man who with my great great grandmother was creating kids. So for me, I can't even say there is a dating outside my race. Nigga, I'm so much of an other. Every race is my race. I
Mm.
don't I don't that's you know, so I don't look at it as oh because yeah, some part of me I have freckles. I you know what I'm saying, but I tan.
You
So
do?
yeah, you can tell there's some white in there. You could tell there's some Latino. There's what am I gonna do? There's no like Shawnee said. You can't put me in a box. There's no box that fits me. When they have the culture, the races, they
The
Hispanic but not
census
black.
thing.
But yeah, I have to check other because I'm none of those things.
Mm. Well, I can say that
Multiracial.
I'm incurred the issue on both sides when it comes down to the racism part because my kids are mixed, but they don't. But they look as far as their skin color, they look more whitish as skin color. You know what I'm saying? They have really super light skin. So my daughter was the center on the boys basketball team for several years, right? So she, and of course, me being black, she grew up, in a black culture, right? But when she got to middle school, or yeah, middle school, going into junior high, she she went on the girls basketball team because she was playing legitimate, what I'm saying, regulation high school basketball, right? So when she got on the girls team, the school that she went to was primarily all black, and they didn't want to accept her because she beat out a lot of people to get on the basketball team. You know what I mean? So they didn't want to accept her on the team because she didn't look like they did. So they gave her hell on the team. So it was a real cultural shock to her because she wasn't expecting or wasn't used to that. And then
But once she was on the team, they accepted her, didn't they?
well, I mean, to a point, but it still was issues. They still raised issues. They treated her like she was the white girl on the team,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Hold on. Can I ask a question, Joe? All the other girls on the team were darker than your daughter, correct?
Yeah, and she's the only person that was light skinned. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
that's see, if anybody can speak to a little bit of what my her existence is gonna be, it's me. Because I've always been that person. I'm light skinned, but the black people don't think I'm black. They look at me like I'm white. I used to have girls put gum in my hair because my hair reached past my shoulders when I was in junior high school. Boys used to
Hater.
burn my skirt. I used
Mm.
to have to fight all the time against Africans and dark. Excuse my French when I say this. I don't mean it how I'm about to say it, but darkies, because I couldn't help the way I looked. But my
I,
mother, their color. I've walked in places with my mom, and literally teachers was like, "Oh, stop trying to play me and bring somebody else in here. Go get your real mother." What? And my mother cursed the lady out.
She's supposed to.
You know,
I
it's a,
was just talking about this about being light skinned and having issues with dark skinned black women. I just was talking about this a couple of weeks ago. It
actually
is
you
a
said
very
something on the show about it
serious
too.
issue.
Yeah.
It's a very serious issue, and nobody's really talking about it. And they don't realize, you be dealing with a whole bunch of persecution just because of being the same race in another shade. You be like, where the heck is this coming from? I ain't even did nothing.
Well, it's not a real big thing from what I've seen with the men on that aspect, but we have, I have seen it with men. It's not just women. Light skinned guys versus dark skinned guys, and good hair versus nappy hair, whatever you want to call it, you know. But I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of the skin I'm in. You know, I seen brothers bleaching their skin and shit. Brothers, not just women, brothers. I seen brothers bleaching their skin. I seen them, put what you call them, the damn contacts in their eyes and make their eyes green and all that. But I ain't going through that bullshit. You either take this nigga the way he is, or I'll move on. I'm not, I ain't trying to compete with no other brown skinned cat because I'm dark skinned. You know, I ain't trying to compete with a brown skinned cat. I ain't trying to compete with a light skinned cat, yellow cat, purple cat, blue cat. None of them cats. I ain't trying to compete with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm me. Take me for who I am. So it ain't just the women that really get beat up on, or threatened, or whatever you want to call it, because of their skin appearance. It used to be a guy thing too. So you
Ain't that
know,
a Mary J song? Take me.
I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I didn't have people actually tell me this. They feel that it stemmed from back in slavery times. I guess that there were the light skinned people worked in the house.
Yep.
Oh,
Whereas and this people have actually said this to me, and I think that that's where they're saying this stems from. They feel like light skinned people, they kind of fit into the society of people that didn't have to work as hard as the ones that worked outside, and so
mhm.
it's like for some reason when they see dark skinned people see light skinned people, they feel like there's some like, something special they didn't have to endure or something. I don't know how to put it, but like, hold on, we got to work as hard too.
Like a Django.
I
Yeah,
agree with you,
house
Shawnee,
boy.
and I feel like because, as black people in those times, we was taught that it carried over. And even when black people got free, we still had this. There's a lot of black people who feel like light skin, even though they're dark skin, they're not comfortable, and they feel like they still have that stigmatism that light skin is the right skin. And I'm gonna speak for it because my mother was one of them. I grew up in a house with a dark skinned mother who wanted to be white so bad. I didn't know it could have killed her. She dated always outside of her race, always preferably light skinned Spanish or Caucasian. And that's what I saw. She was one of those people who like we all know, we've heard the saying before, she wanna be white. Yeah, that was my mama.
That's
You,
the imitation of life. That's what that movie was about.
And I
but
feel like she created me, you understand what I'm saying, in this image of what she, you know what I'm saying, what she could never be. And then after she created me, she hated me.
in the defense of the guys that's dated outside their race. Well, I'm not gonna say the guys. I'm gonna just say me. You know, it wasn't never a thing. And then catering to what you said about how you felt about how this dude treated how he made you feel like a side. I ain't gonna go into that sideshow attraction. I'm gonna say it.
Sideshow.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it just like that. All I'm gonna say about about the outside dating was I ain't never want to put myself in a position where I wanted to portray myself as another race because I'm dating outside my race. No, I did that shit because it was on the person. It's not a with me. It's not a preference. Do I prefer this chick because she got longer hair than a black woman? No. Do I prefer this chick because she got a lighter shade than this black woman? No. It's all about the person. You know, they say that black women are so hard to deal with because they bitch too much. Let me tell you something. Any motherfucking woman at any motherfucking time can bitch. Just like a nigga could. You know what I'm saying? And when I say a nigga, I mean a man in general, no matter what fucking race he is. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be too much for anybody. So it was always not like so much as a race preference for me. It was so much as a person preference for me. That's what I gotta
Okay.
say about that shit.
Okay,
Mm.
so we have less than 14 minutes left on the show, guys. So for my final question, speaking to what Taz was just talking about, do you have a preference? Like, we know Shawnee girl, she is on the chocolate side, you know what I'm saying? She likes a milk chocolate. Because I know some people do have
She
some
like them
people,
chocolate.
some
I
people do
like them
have a
all, but I
preference.
just like
You know what I'm saying?
chocolate.
Some people have a preference. And for me, I'm maybe light skinned, but I don't want to walk down the street holding hands with nobody who look like they could be my brother or my cousin. No, you got to be caramel or darker to walk down the street with me. I don't want no light skin, no bright skin, no light bright looking like me, nothing. No,
Them
we're
yellow
not doing
dudes don't get a
only
chance,
one of
huh?
us to glow in the dark. I got that part handled, boo. So,
You better go
what
play in
is
the
yours?
mud, huh?
And how do you feel about that?
Who
Let's
you
go around the room.
who you directed to? My bad.
Everybody, let's start with Chill. You've been quiet for a second.
All right, so I have dated all races. Um, I've dated mostly white women, but I've dated all races: black, sisters, Chinese. The Vietnamese chick was the most interesting one because she used to have this phrase all the time that she used to say, "Let's go do this already," and then she'll say, "You ready to fuck me already?" Or she'll say something like that. And I used to think she was trying to, and when she first said it the first time, I thought she was trying to roast me or something. I'm like, damn, don't get it then. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. But but it was just her phrase all the time. Like, pass me the food already. Or pass me the chicken or something that was always already everything was already.
Like Indians say, okay. After
Yeah.
everything they say, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was an interesting
Okay.
adventure. But I don't really have much of a like I said, I've dated all races. So if it's all about you. So, it's about the person. So it don't matter to me too much. But I would say I have dated, one race more than others. Other than that, it don't matter to me. That's just me,
Who
I
you, who,
guess.
Okay, Monster, what you got going on over there? What gets your going? What gets your boat sailing?
Somebody that's real. But I will say this: I pretty much don't date too much outside my race unless I'm very intrigued. I mean, I will go south of the border, but I'm not a fan of going to Europe.
okay, so we read
I
between the lines
dated
on that
for a
one.
split second someone that was half Chinese and black, but not straight Chinese or whatever. But with me, it's all about personality because whether what color you are, purple, orange, brown, black, white, yellow, green, orange, whatever. You gotta have the right personality because if you don't have the right personality, it's not gonna work.
Mm.
Truth.
10 minutes.
Okay, Blood, been quiet over there. What you got going on?
Um, Actually, I've never really dated outside my race. I mean, I don't fuck with a couple white girls, Puerto Ricans and shit, but we weren't dating. It was exactly what I said. I fucked me a couple of them. But I mean, I'm dating a chick now outside my race. But I mean, long as you want to be with me and you act like it, I'm gonna let you shoot your shot.
Okay, so even if she was dark skinned like Magilla Carilla, she can come shoot her shot.
Okay, 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 okay. Now, now,
I could do.
now, when we're talking about skin complexion, if we're talking about that, no, I don't fuck with the
Yeah,
dark skin
that
bitches.
was-
No, I don't do dark skin women. I
Hmm.
sure don't. I'm gonna give
Interesting.
your ass the skin test. I'm gonna you're gonna stick your hand out. I'm gonna stick my hand out. If your shit darker than mine, see you, baby.
That's interesting.
You can't even get you none. Your bad. I
Hmm.
don't do dark skinned girls no more,
Gotcha.
ever. Period. Have no,
That's
don't
because of
hold
your
conversation,
past.
huh?
That's because of your past.
When they say one apple will fuck shit up,
Hmm.
you know how they say that? One apple will fuck up a whole batch, fucked it up forever,
Wow.
Damn.
forever in life. In life. No
Oh,
dark skinned bra have a fucking chance. I don't give a fuck what you look like, how bad your body is. Fuck you and your body. No, kick rocks.
so we scratching Grace Jones off the list then.
Oh
What?
my God.
You
Ooh, we Lord have mercy.
money.
And she paid.
I don't give.
no,
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 Mm-mm.
belong for him.
She book
no,
bag black.
no. That shit dead.
Yeah, she
No,
book
you
bag
be you
black.
you're gonna be my complexion. You're gonna be my complexion or lighter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real, my complexion or lighter. Real talk. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, so we got 10 minutes left. So we haven't done this in a while. So to end my show today, I want to go back to doing reflections. So is there any reflections, anything that you can take away from the show today that you'll think about? Let's start around the room and let's start with Shawnee Girl.
Um, I would say my reflection would be to just keep and continue being a diverse person and a person that's into diversity in this world that we live in, because there's so many
Somebody else
people
chime
that
in.
has issues with races, and like y'all was talking about different races mingling together and stuff like that. I'm totally for, if you love it, I love it. If you like it, I like it. If that's what you into. So just continuing to keep on that flow of things, because not everybody's like that in this world today.
Monster, I heard you saying something. You go next. What's your reflection for today?
We lost him.
Monster? Okay, we'll come back to him. Go
Okay,
ahead,
I'm back.
Taz.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Okay, there we go. Go ahead,
Y'all got
Monster.
me?
Mhm.
Yeah, we got you.
No, we don't hear you, monster.
Yeah, we lost you again.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you now. Go ahead.
All right, I can do my reflections real quick. All right, what I'm gonna take from this show? Uh Basically, like I said, it really doesn't matter. Everybody does have a preference for what they like. But at the end of the day, if you can't get along with that person and you aren't happy with that person, you should wrap it up and keep it moving.
Amen. Chill. Any last thoughts?
Well, I'll make it real quick. I think it's pretty cool. Everybody up in here diverse, so that's a good thing. I guess I could take from it up north, New York is a little faster pace. Down south, you can kind of throw the little thing out there, slow motion for me. Down the south. Uh, and I guess, like I say, uh, we could all say end racism. That's the biggest thing I could say.
Mm-mm. I concur with that.
Bloody, any reflections?
Yeah, I got one reflection for you. It's finna be 2023, and I just want to live life, have fun, and whatever people decide to do, who you date, whatever race, color, ethnic group, whatever the fuck it is. You trying, long as that, like Shani said, long as that shit make you happy, fuck, I'm gonna be happy. You know what I mean? I want everybody to have a happy new year. Seriously.
Taz?
Well, only thing I gotta say is, you know what I'm saying, regardless to, what race you are, or what northern, southern, you know, thing you from, if you dealing with me, it's hard for me to keep that nice guy mentality for all the shit that I've been through. And 2023 is gonna be all about motherfucking me. And those are facts. I mean, as far as friends go and real people, I'm gonna be real with you and I'm gonna be there for you. But them fly by night niggas and shit, and them fly by night girls that just want to be around or have their hand fucking stuck out and always want you to do shit for them, but don't want to do shit for you. Man, get the fuck out of here. And that's all I gotta say.
Say no
So,
build a bitch next year for you.
No build a bitch for me next year, the year after that, or the next motherfucking century. I'm out.
And
that's
that
what
was
I'm
said
talking
we be
I'm tired of that
about. We are
shit.
done with the Build a Bitch Nation. Done with it.
That's it.
for real.
It's all about me. I mean, like I said before, everybody who real to me, I'm gonna be real to you, male or female. No matter what race you are. But them other motherfuckers that always just want something for you, Fabulous said it best. You feed a sucker, they'll grow to be a bigger leech. I'm out.
Hmm.
Okay. Correct. Well, for me, my reflection, first of all, open mindedness. Everybody keep your mind open. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge somebody by where they're from or what they look like, because you'll be surprised when you turn a few pages what's actually on the inside. You're never going to find anybody who fits into the box that you think that they do. I don't care who they are. So, open mindedness. Let's be open in 2023. If whatever fucking makes you happy, if you want to date somebody who comes from Timbuktu, the jungles of the motherfucking Congo, as long as the goddamn bitch ain't fucking apes, be happy. Be happy. Let's all be happy. I have fun. I'm still a northerner living in the South day by day, hoping everything goes well. And Monster, as always, take us out of here.
All right. Hopefully everybody liked the show that they listened to. And once again, you can look on Monster and Taz. We got many different podcasts, many different types of show. And hopefully you like this one. You'll share it, you'll subscribe, and you'll come back and see us on the next one. Until then, look out for you in 2023. Have a good one.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy
Everybody.
New Year.
Yeah.
Happy
Yes,
New Year.
absolutely.